I'm sorry, Finland, but apparently one of the Moomin characters is racist now. Can you guess which one? It's your boy Stinky, the lovable rogue, also known as Haisuli in Finnish. When I first saw the story, I thought it was a joke, but it's real, and I'm gonna explain what happened. I hope this story serves as a warning to Finland and other Nordic countries about the absurdities that hyper-racial awareness creates. The Moomin characters have just turned 80 years old. They were created by the author Tove Jansson, and to commemorate the anniversary of their creation, they were being displayed in an exhibition in both New York and Tampere, a city in Finland for the internationals watching. The exhibition was also a tribute to the author herself. Now, I'll be straight with you. I don't know much about these fictional characters or their world. I didn't grow up here, so I'm not emotionally connected to them. But what I do know is that I haven't met a single Finnish person who isn't connected to them in some way. Everyone who talks about Moomin does it with a kind of warmth. Both kids and adults seem to love them, which is actually fascinating. I've seen them on mugs, toys, they're everywhere. Like a full-blown cultural icon with TV shows, theme parks, and really expensive merch. I haven't taken the time to look into them much. I simply accepted Moomin as part of the Finnish background, like cultural decorations of sorts. But on an emotional level, it's reminiscent of what, say, Dragon Ball Z or Naruto was and still is for me. Characters I still feel very fondly about, even today. As an outsider who's taken a little peek into Moomin Valley, the stories look like wholesome, whimsical tales that explore surprisingly deep themes like family, friendship, fear, and so on, like Winnie the Pooh, but much deeper. And seeing that I'm going to be a father soon, I know I'll be getting familiar with these characters in the not so distant future. So the other day, I read an article that had me in stitches. I couldn't believe what I was reading. A Moomin character has been dropped from a major exhibition at the Brooklyn Public Library in New York after one of the institute's supporters raised concerns that the character might be perceived as racist. Right here, I knew I had just stumbled on something absolutely hilarious, because when I opened up the story on Yle, it's like the BBC of Finland, this is the image I saw. I also knew I was about to read the dumbest thing ever, because I scanned the image and tried to figure out how this hairball-like creature with a red nose and purple antenna could possibly be racist. One of their supporters had thought Stinky could be seen as a racist symbol, said Rolf Kakström, CEO of Moomin Characters. But how? Kakström told Yle he was informed of the decision via a short email from the library and responded with understanding. We replied in a few lines and said, "It's fine. We see this as a healthy societal discussion." How is this healthy? This feels like collective madness from where I sit. Like seriously, if you look into this fictional story full of fantastical creatures like white hippos and a mischievous furball, and the first thing that comes to mind is, this shit's racist. I would say you're the one with the problem. If such a change is requested, we have no objection, he said. What do you mean you have no objection? Not even a little pushback? How about a, really? I'm sorry to hear that, but could you please clarify how a furball might be considered racist in any way, shape, or form? Thank you. Quick pause in the video. If you're enjoying this, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps get my videos out there. Some of you have been kind enough to send me super chats. It means a lot. It makes me feel like you really appreciate the work I put into this. If you want to support me financially in a better way, consider buying me a coffee. The link is below. YouTube super chats, unfortunately, take like 30%. So yeah, that's a better way. But honestly, liking this video is already a great form of payment. So thank you in advance. He noted this is the first time in 80 years that the character has drawn such criticism. Yeah, well, no shit, because it's stupid and it makes no sense. That's why you were well in your rights to push back on it. Racial hypersensitivity is at an all-time high in the US and leads to these kinds of absurdities. I'd be curious to know if the person who complained was white or black. I could almost bet my money it was a well-meaning white person, probably a woman. I know that sounds bad, but I just don't see a black guy giving a damn. And just the way it was worded, stinky could be seen as a racist symbol. I could be wrong. It's just my intuition, because I don't know. When I make these sort of videos, especially on my TikTok or Instagram, it's usually a white woman who tells me I'm wrong for my views. But I could be wrong. And if it is a black person, it's just as bad. Tove Jansson is widely seen as a champion of tolerance, radical acceptance, and inclusivity. But I greatly respect the American sensitivity around these types of conversations, he said. Listen, not everything deserves respect just because someone might be sensitive about it, especially when there's something like this. It's the 80th anniversary. You're celebrating the work of an esteemed author. Also, wasn't she lesbian at a time when being so was taboo? She was quite literally a queer creative pioneer. It makes sense that her stories dealt with deep themes like belonging. She was writing at a time when it was difficult to be openly gay, and that's awesome. So it's pretty wild to think that she would, I don't know, sneak in some racism in there. Sirke Haponen, a Moomin scholar and author of a doctoral dissertation on the Moomin book, said she was surprised by the removal. God damn. Doctoral dissertation? I'm surprised that Moomin scholars exist. I think that's the most surprising part of this entire story. Like, what? Have I severely underestimated just how big and special this cartoon world is for people here? If someone sees Stinky as racist, they haven't really read the comics. I doubt the critic even knows the Moomin stories, she said. I 100% agree. I bet anything the person who complained knows nothing about these stories. He's quite funny, clearly the rogue of Moomin Valley and unapologetically himself, Haponen said. He lives on rocks in the forest and doesn't have a fixed home, but he's content with his life. That sounds like a pretty dope guy. Who doesn't like a mischievous character? You know, from what I've seen, a lot of people love this character. Some kids are apparently scared of him, others love him for his antics. And you know, the sad thing is, I understand how this character could be misread through the American lens. Because when a race becomes the lens through which you see everything, you'll start seeing it everywhere, even where it doesn't exist. Yes, it will divide. Yes, it will cause havoc. But at the very least, it gives easy answers for difficult questions in society. There's always something outside of you to blame. One of the most interesting things about living in Finland is seeing how little whiteness matters to Finns. That's never been a core of their identity. Finns didn't describe themselves as white. They described themselves as Finnish. That's all they ever wanted to be. It was only when the Russian Empire tried to Russify them, to erase their Finnishness, that they rebelled. So using the word white to describe all Caucasian people is an imported concept here and a lot of other Northern European countries. And unfortunately, that mindset is starting to take root in some of these countries. I really hope Finland protects itself from this useless way of viewing the world. I know that in some circles, this mindset is gaining traction, even here. calling the country racist and all that kind of garbage. When in truth, most Finns don't give a shit about your skin color as long as you live according to the social norms and play your part in helping build society. But I won't get into all of that right now. I've made other videos about this and you can check them out after this one. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. If you want to support me a little more, consider buying me a coffee using the link below, especially if you want to see more videos like this and give me more time to make them. No pressure at all. A like is already a pretty good payment. Until next time, ciao.